Business is booming. World over, more companies are transacting online than ever before. Bull or bear market, payment digitization is the way forward. But with more growth comes more risks, and the need to be secure has never been more pronounced. If you're watching this video, you're here to learn more about PCI-DSS because somebody has asked you if your business was compliant, or because you're being proactive about data and payment security. There's a lot of information about PCI-DSS on the internet, but not all of it is immediately actionable. So in this video, we're going to cover 3 key topics. 1. What is PCI-DSS and why is it important? 2. How do I get PCI-DSS? And 3. How much will PCI-DSS cost me? Let's start with what PCI-DSS is. PCI-DSS stands for Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. It was created in 2006 by representatives of the card industry in question: American Express, MasterCard, Visa, Discover Financial Services, and JCB International. They built this standard to address rising cybersecurity risks to the payment ecosystem and to ensure businesses were adopting best practices when storing, processing, and transmitting cardholder data. That was nearly 2 decades ago, and today, the PCI-DSS guiding principle rings truer than ever. Amidst a slew of high-profile cyber attacks that led to cardholder information being exposed, the need for data and payment security is highlighted more than ever before. And the impact of these hacks goes beyond just brand damage and lawsuits. There's real financial repercussions too. Equifax was fined more than $500 million. Capital One paid out $190 million. And British Airways had its fine downsized to $25 million. As humans, we tend to brush aside the likelihood of bad things such as these happening to us. But PCI also enforces non-compliance. You can process only a small number of transactions and have nothing go wrong, but you can still be fined. Non-compliance of PCI-DSS leads to monthly fines ranging from $5,000 on the lower end to $100,000 or more on the higher side. And if you're a repeat offender, you could be banned from the credit card's processing network entirely. That's a scary prospect. Protecting yourself against these outcomes seems like a Herculean task, but it's surprisingly easy to do as long as you do it the right way. Which brings us to our second question. How do you get PCI-DSS? The security posture of a company is often a response to its perceived risks. The bigger the company, the greater its need for security. And PCI-DSS agrees. PCI-DSS is divided into 4 levels. Level 4, less than 20,000 transactions a year. Level 3, between 20,000 and 1 million transactions a year. Level 2, between 1 and 6 million transactions. And level 1, where you do 6 million transactions and above in a year. Regardless of your level, all companies are tasked with fulfilling 6 broad goals. Each of these goals have specific standards outlined to achieve them, creating a holistic security environment. These 12 standards further break down into 251 subsections, and if that feels overwhelming, it is. But don't worry, there's 2 things that you need to know about PCI-DSS. 1 is that the fewer your transactions, the easier your compliance process is, and 2, you don't have to do this manually. Before we get to that, let's just put everything together. If you're going to get PCI-DSS, here's how to go about it. 1. Identify which of the 4 levels you're in, which brings you to step 2, an internal risk assessment, where you identify and spell out what your most pertinent and immediate risks are. Then, step 3, a gap analysis, where you alter existing processes or deploy new ones in order to achieve PCI compliance. Step 4 is when you build out policies and map procedures, and step 5 is when you monitor continuously. The final step involves a self-assessment questionnaire, and after that you get an attestation of compliance report. So, how much does PCI-DSS cost? The actual range of PCI-DSS compliance is quite hotly debated. You can find estimates on the internet ranging from $300 to $30,000. This is for 2 reasons. 1, different people and companies simply quote different prices. PCI-DSS is extensive in nature, and the information asymmetry that exists around it means that vendors can set prices to their own liking. And secondly, the cost of a PCI-DSS report varies significantly based on your existing security standing. For example, if you have a SOC 2 report, you're halfway there to PCI-DSS. Another factor in pricing is that PCI-DSS can also take up a lot of time and effort, leading to invisible costs like lost productivity and altered product roadmaps. In an ideal partner, you need 3 things. 1. A predictable budget and effort forecast. 2. The ability to leverage existing security protocols. 3. As little manual intervention as possible. In essence, you're looking for automation. So if you want a better, quicker, and more efficient PCI-DSS compliance report, you need Sprinto. To get started, book a demo using the link in the description below.